Hello, Lake Orion. Well, it's a nice day out. It's great. The weather's great. I'm your host, and I am. That's Taormina.
Hey, Ian.
Yes, indeed, Lake Orion. This is Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Sammy, how you doing?
Hanging in there?
For those of you guys wondering where Ian is actually running a little bit late, so he will be here later on the show. I want to talk about something that is that has the potential to be extremely significant in high school sports. A rumor going around. There's a rumor going around that a potential mega conference could be on the horizon, potentially, in the OAA. I know you touched on it during your OAA Now show, but let's talk about it.
Well, the rumor's been going around about the possibility of you got the teams from Genesee County, Livingston County, Novi, Northville, Livonia, Westland schools all coming to the OAA, and also Walled Lake schools possibly all coming to the OAA and forming a super mega conference. And there's some rumblings about the Waterford schools wanting in as well, but I don't know if it's going to happen, to be honest with you, because based on the principals have to vote on it, everything has to come in line for this to be a reality. But I don't know if it's possible, it could be a reality.
Let's talk about the forestorm of the reasoning that was reported in February that 10 schools were going to leave the Kensington Lakes Activities Association, the better known as the KLAA, therefore leaving the league, which originally had 24 schools, down to 14. Do you think that them attempting to merge with the OA is an attempt to keep a mega conference?
The 10 schools?
I'm talking about the 14 schools.
The 14, kind of, yes, but I just don't see it happening because the OA's got really strict guidelines. Now, I can see the 9 of the 10 schools where they can join the OA, but the problem is you have Pinckney in there, and they're in Livingston County. And I don't think the OA will allow. I don't think those 10 schools will say, if you want us to bring Pinckney in, we'll join you if you bring Pinckney in. But then there has to be a provision that if you want to bring Pinckney in, you got to bring Lapeer in. You know what I mean?
Right.
That'll benefit the northern schools.
That'll
benefit the southern schools. Now, if this 14-school mega conference goes proposals, it benefits both the north and the south because the north they would get a Grand Blanc. You could bring in a Davison and a Lapeer. And then with the South, you can benefit with Livonia schools, Livonia Stevenson, Livonia Franklin, Livonia Churchill, along with Plymouth, Canton, Salem, and Wayne Memorial, and Westland John Glenn. They have rivalries with the southern schools.
Julie Farmington.
With Farmington, North Farmington, Harrison, and also with Southfield and Oak Park. So you look at that stick, I think the 14 is an interesting proposal, but the 10 is very interesting as well because the center of that would be the Waterford schools, and Waterford County and Waterford Mott, yes, they're former members of the OAA, but it has been rumored that they wanted to come back into this league. You know what I mean? So it's like I said in the podcast, it's going to be a wild summer.
Do you think the focal point should be, the focal point for this to happen, should it happen, should be around the OAA, the Oakland County schools, the 23 schools that are in the OAA,
I think it has to because when you look at it here, the OAA, they're the ones that I think are more superior right now than the Kensington, based on how their stance is. The question's going to be the OA's got 3 decisions. Do they want to go with the 14? Do they want to go to a mega conference? Do they want to take the 10? or they stay put at 23, that threatens with the disband. That could threaten the disband of the league. So when you look at the OA is in an interesting position here when it comes to this is a league that has to expand. This is a league that has to create some new teams because when you look at teams in the Ottawa-Kent Conference, the Macomb Area Conference, the reason why they're successful every year is because they have teams out of county that does very well. And you look at the Macomb Area Conference, they have Macomb County, St. Clair County, Wayne County, some parts of Oakland County.
Yeah,
and then when you look at the Ottawa-Kent, you got teams in Muskegon County. You got teams in Kent County, Ottawa County, Van Buren County. I mean, you got to basically, if you want to expand your standpoint in the state, this is a perfect opportunity for the OAA to look at this and say, hey, we want to compete with one of the best. We want to be one of the best conferences in the state. I know it's going to change it not only athletically but also academically, robotics. You got drama. Everything will be impacted if in DECA, even that. I mean, even if with that type of situation, I think it's a good move.
But you're looking at two. You're looking at two. Should this become successful, you've got 23 schools right now in the OA.
Oh yeah.
You've got 14 schools from the KLA that want in. You want Lapeer that wants in. That's 15. Then you're wanting to incorporate the
18.
Then you want to incorporate the 10 schools.
Right.
That's 25 schools coming in the OA. 25 plus 23, that's 48 schools. That is the definition of a mega conference.
Well, look at how many teams the Ottawa-Kent has. They have nearly about 50 teams in that conference.
Okay.
You look at the Macomb Area Conference. They have about nearly 40 teams in that conference. You basically, if you want to be a successful conference, you have to look at your geographical standpoint. You have to look at...
You think the private school sector has a lot to do with why these public schools
a lot of the private school sector has to be discussed there. Of course, the OA didn't reject Pontiac Notre Dame Preparatory from the league, but...
They also rejected Lapeer
again. I think when you look at the situation here is the OA has to expand or they're done. I think that's what has to happen. And now, I don't know if it will happen, but I think expansion has to happen.
What impacts do you think this will have on Lake Orion?
When I look at it from Lake Orion standpoint, bringing in Lapeer would be a huge fit, along with Grand Blanc and Davison, of course, very big enrollment schools. But when you look at playing Clarkston, Oxford every year, I mean, it's a consistent, and the Rochesters, it's a consistent point. It's a consistent standout. I think, but playing Lapeer, Davison, Grand Blanc, it kind of will help with travel. But end of the day, I just think if Lake Orion was to bring in all those schools, the 48 schools, it would make perfect. If the OA brings them in, I think it's perfect sense. If it's even the 10 schools, I think it makes sense too. You know, for Lake Orion, because you have rivalries with Walled Lake Central, you have rivalry in football especially, and then you have and then of course you have Lapeer's your rival, the Waterford schools, Oxford, Clarkston, Grand Blanc, Davison, Lapeer. Makes a lot of sense for Lake Orion to look at that direction.
Any final thoughts?
Well, we'll see what happens. Like I said, stay tuned to my podcast. It's gonna be a wild summer.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about some more sports here on Between Taorminas on ONTV.
When I'm in Lake Orion and I want to catch up on sports, I watch Between Taorminas.
Set the date. Lake Orion is having its 16th annual Flower and Art Fair on Friday, May 6th and Saturday, May 7th. This event takes place in the streets of downtown Lake Orion and kicks off the summer season. It's a wonderful place to purchase garden-related products and handmade craft items. This also provides a great opportunity to buy that special Mother's Day gift. Want to be a vendor in the fair or know someone who does? Don't delay, apply today. Give us a call or check out our website for an application. For more information or to download a vendor application, visit our website at downtownlakeorion.org. We hope to see you there.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Sammy, how you doing?
Hanging in, just battling a cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got a big game tonight. Game 7.
Yup.
The Dallas Stars versus the St. Louis Blues. Is this gonna be the Stars advance, or is this gonna be the Stars farewell? Or and you might be doing tea times on Thursday, as Bob Bridges would say.
I hope not. You know, I look at this series. It's been a great series between Dallas and St. Louis. Dallas's speed against St. Louis's forecheck. Mm-hmm. I think whoever gets the second goal in the series, second goal of the game, will win this game. I think Dallas at home tonight will have a advantage a little bit because they're at home. But St. Louis has proven they've won on the road. But
They've
so
won
has Dallas.
Game 7s.
They've won.
St. Louis has
they
won
beat
Game
Chicago
7.
in Game 7. They got experience playing in Game 7. Whereas Dallas really does not have that experience. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the Stars' team, they've had a lot of experience playing in junior or other countries where they.
But you look at the series. That series has, the road team has won a lot of games. St. Louis has won 2 games in Dallas already.
Yes, I know, but Dallas has won 2 games in St. Louis.
That's true.
I mean, but you look at this series. It's been a great series because it's like a contrast in styles. Of course, St. Louis likes to be a physical hockey team, grind it out. Got David Backes, Tarasenko. I mean, you got a good defense with St. Louis, and then of course you got Brian Elliott, and then you got Dallas. I don't know how they're doing this without Tyler Seguin, but Jamie Benn stepped this game up. Jason Spezza stepped this game up. A guy I really like has been Matthias Janmark, the way he's been playing. I think he's been playing very well. I like Radek Faksa. He's been playing very well as well. But the play of Kari Lehtinen is huge tonight for the Stars if they want to win because he had to make 35 saves against St. Louis. Dallas was badly outshot 37-14 in Game 6. I mean, when you look at this series, it's anybody's ballgame, For the Stars win or lose tonight, they've had a successful season because you look at how this team was back in 2010, where they were in bankruptcy, where they had to go. They had so many problems. They had so many troubles with Tom Hicks' financial loans.
Right.
They've had, and then of course Tom Gaglardi buying the team, and then the Stars changing everything up. They changed the victory grade.
Right.
They changed that up. And
What about the Nashville and San Jose series? That's
finish?
also going
Can I
something. All
finish
right, go
my
ahead.
point? And then of course they're successful. They've been very successful this year.
What about the Nashville-San Jose series going to 7?
Well, Nashville San Jose, didn't expect this to happen. I thought San Jose would win this series maybe in 6 games, but I think Nashville's got a shot to do it against San Jose tonight. Because
It demonstrates the power of the Central Division.
It does, because when you look at
How strong
the
it is.
Central, how strong it was, when you look at Chicago, Dallas, St. Louis, Minnesota,
Nashville,
and then you have Colorado, who is no slouch. I mean, and then you look at Winnipeg, who kind of struggled this year. I mean, the Central is a very difficult division to win because you can't take a day off every time in that division because if you think about it, if Colorado wins the Pacific Division, I think they win that division. But but now with Minnesota now getting Bruce Boudreau coaching them,
right?
And you look at the Central Division is going to be a lot tougher, especially next year. Mm-hmm. But it all comes down to free agents. It all comes down to how much your young talent develops in the draft.
Pittsburgh versus Tampa. Who do you got?
Tampa in 6.
You think Tampa wins in 6?
Because I think when you look at Tampa Bay, I mean, I like the Lightning a lot more. I mean, the way they've been playing. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that they're doing this without Steven Stamkos. Jonathan Drouin's played very well. Of course, Ben Bishop's been playing very well for Tampa Bay. I was shocked how they dismantled Detroit the way they did.
Right.
I thought that would have went maybe at least 6 or 7 games again. How they dispatched the Islanders in 5 games.
Right.
So Tampa Bay's got a lot of rest, whereas Pittsburgh's coming off an emotional win over the Washington Capitals. Washington, oddly enough, this is an interesting stat. The President's Trophy winner is, fall in the second round. They're the 5th team to have the most points in the league, but they're losing the second round.
Wow.
And it's odd right now when you look at it here that there's only one division leader left, and that right now obviously is the Dallas Stars.
They could lose tonight.
So, but like I said, I think the Stars will move on tonight over St. Louis, and I think I'm going to pick a limb here. I'm picking the upset. I got Nashville, then upset San Jose. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Sharks do win that game in the Shark Tank.
Okay.
But it wouldn't surprise me if the Sharks win. But I still think it's a heck of a series between the Stars and Blues. I think that should have been the conference final.
Any final thoughts?
Well, when you look at the teams, when you look at Dallas, win or lose tonight's been a successful season for them. You know what I mean? Especially with how they didn't make the playoffs last year, and then they're coming back. You know what I mean? Come back from the heavens.
All right, we'll be right back with Between Taorminas on ONTV.
Hello, Oakland County. It's the Sammy Taormina talking OA Now. In it, we'll talk various stories ranging from the state to Oakland County teams affecting the OAA. Catch us here on OA Now.
Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV. Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Sammy, how you doing?
Hanging in there.
Let's talk about conflict in Tigerland.
You know, we kind of wish Ian was here for this
Yeah, I
segment because he would have been just so happy to see how desperate the Tigers were. I think somebody's going to get fired.
Do you blame Ian for the Tigers' woes?
Of course I do. Even when he was a throwing coach at Oakview. I mean, when David Price was faltering and falling apart, you know what I mean, at the scenes, Ian Weatherspoon is to blame for the Tigers' failures. But
So you're not blaming Brad Osmus, you're blaming Ian?
No, Brad Osmus needs to go because here's why. Ron Gardenhire is a perfect manager for this team.
What?
I'm serious.
Why?
Even over Jim Leland. Now, Jim Leland said that Osmus was doing a fine job. Are you in a blind squirrel? I think Jim Leland right now is hitting like a blind squirrel right now, looking at the Tigers' record. They're 2 games under 500, 8 behind the Chicago White Sox in the Central Division.
Bleh.
And you look at this baseball
Are
team.
Tigers third right now or second?
I think they're third. When you look at the Tigers, this is not a good baseball team.
Not right now.
Not right now, especially because they got pitching problems. They can't, their bullpen has been atrocious. They can't hold leads. When you can't do that, you ain't going to win. And you look at a team like the Chicago White Sox, who's on a hot start right now. The way they're playing, they can hit, they can pitch. They have a good closer in David Robinson. I mean, you look at Chicago. Chicago's got a complete team. Kansas City, when healthy, has a complete team. The Detroit Tigers, no bullpen. Their bullpen's atrocious.
They lost to Washington, the Nationals, and Bryce Harper got, he's kind of like the, quote, bad boy in baseball, or the Justin Bieber of baseball.
Of course.
But what's your take on that whole
You want to also know what? Well, Bryce Harper, he can back up his game.
Right.
The way he's playing. I didn't like the fact that he cursed out and up.
Okay. Never mind.
But you want to know why I said about Justin Verlander's struggles?
You're blaming Kate Upton.
Absolutely, I blame Kate Upton.
Okay, give me a reason.
Because here's the reason why you blame Kate Upton. One, remember the last time when the Kate Upton intervened in Tiger affairs?
Yes.
Tigers struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. When Kate Upton entered,
Ian will probably refuse to believe it.
Ian refused to believe it, but who cares what he thinks?
Gee.
But 2, here's why. Another thing. Kate Upton is responsible for the Tigers' factors of baseball an interior ship. I mean,
Sounds like
Upton
Kate
is the
Upton
reason
is
why.
the reason why.
Kate Upton is the reason why the Tigers are losing right now.
Are you out of your gourd?
I'm not out of my gourd. What?
I think you're crazy.
I am not crazy. Yeah, I'll tell you what right now. The reason why the Tigers are not good right now is because it's Kate Upton. Kate Upton.
What position is Kate playing?
Kate Upton is, engaged.
You got the wrong Upton, pal.
Kate Upton is engaged to Justin Verlander.
Is she playing
is
on
the
the field?
reason why. She is the reason why the Tigers are losing right now.
Is she on the field?
No.
Is
Do
she
you think the
contributing?
Tigers fire Osmus?
Yes.
Yes.
You know you both agree.
I feel dirty, but yes.
All right, give me a reason. They got a big payroll.
Have you guys been watching the National Series?
Yeah. And blowing leads.
So it's a National League ballpark, correct?
Yes.
Did you happen to see on Monday night when he pinch hit V-Mart
That was an awful
for
decision.
McCann
Yep.
with first base open?
Yep. No.
This man makes countless errors that guys like us that aren't paid $1 million a year can see, hey, hello.
You want it? You look at this is why they're 8 back in Chicago. Because they have a dumb manager. They have a dumb manager,
Well-
and they have a pitcher that is engaged to one of the hottest models in the entire country, and she is the reason why the Tigers are losing.
Shouldn't that help him?
No, that should not help them.
Why?
You look at the last time she got into Tiger affairs. Have you?
Has
They
there
had a
ever...
losing season.
Sammy's actually right in this. Sammy's
They had
actually
a
correct in
losing
this.
season.
I'm sorry, Ian. I have to agree with Sam on this. It's just that Kate Upton is kind of a bad mark on Tigers
She
baseball.
is a
Is
bad
there-
mark on Tiger baseball.
Is Verlander the only star
But
athlete
Verlander's
to
not
ever
the-
date a hot woman?
No,
No.
no.
Does Tom Brady not perform because he's married to a supermodel named Giselle
Tom
Bundchen?
Brady. Tom Brady.
The
is a
NFL
whole
is
other
screwing
animal.
over Tom
The
Brady.
NFL
Tom Brady's an innocent victim and all
He
that.
is not an innocent victim. He gets 4 games. Because you
Tom
look
Brady's
at
an innocent victim.
Wait,
Ian called
you look at Kate Upton.
Yeah.
Kate Upton is the reason why the Tigers are struggling.
The Tigers have
Agreed.
no heart. They have no motivation right now. The fact is, it's inexcusable to have one of the highest payrolls in baseball and to be struggling like this. Somebody has to go. Something has to be done. There has to be change. Osmus is. I just don't think the Stars respect him. I don't think that the Tigers truly care about winning under him.
I think that's it. I think they might respect him. I don't think they have a lack of respect, but I think they don't feel motivated.
No, they don't.
They wouldn't
Leland
run
at
through a
least
wall.
motivated them.
The players for Leland would run through a wall for that man. The players loved Jim Leland. And that's just, that's not, I don't think, how it is with Osmus.
It's not. It really is not. Something's got to change. You know that.
I think, even if the Tigers were performing very well, let's say the Tigers were in the White Sox position. They were 8 games up in the division. And they go and they make the World Series and they face the Cubs. Can you see...
Bartman.
Well, Bartman, but could you just imagine how much a guy like Joe Madden would outmanage Brad Osmus?
Yeah, he killed him.
He would take
He
him
would
to
kill him to
school.
school. He'd kill him.
He would.
Look,
And you
the
can't
Chica-
have
you
that
wanna know
liability.
The best,
I
the
think
best
the
baseball
Tigers-
city right now is Chicago right
Oh,
now.
shut up.
Yeah, Chicago's the best city in baseball right
I
now.
think-
It's May.
I think the Tigers need to have a veteran manager
They
managing
do.
them.
With this payroll,
With this payroll,
with
with
this
this
experience.
group, they need a veteran
Ron
manager.
Gardenhire makes
No,
perfect sense.
no,
yes.
no,
yes.
no,
yes.
no.
yes.
How about a manager from the 21st century?
What do you want?
Not
Lloyd
some
McClendon?
guy who
What do you
played with
want?
Satchel
What do you
Paige.
want? Lloyd McClendon?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I want a man who is in line with Al
Who
Avila
would
in
you
the front
consider?
office.
Are you
mean,
talking about
Jim
Alan
Leland's not coming
Trammell?
back.
No.
I have no idea.
You better not be
Leland's not
talking about
coming
Alan
back.
Trammell.
Leland's not coming back.
Better not be talking about
I'm
Alan
not
Trammell.
talking Alan Trammell. If you want to stick with the Tigers family,
Are you saying Kirk Gibson?
I think Kirk Gibson would be interesting.
No.
His health, I don't think would
No.
permit it.
He's not gonna come. He's not gonna come
I
for
don't
the
think he
broadcast
is.
booth and
I
manage.
don't
no.
think he is, but he's a motivating kind of guy.
I understand that, but you want to see the reason why Kirk Gibson's health is the reason why he won't manage
I don't
his
think
team.
he's going to, but a man
You think
like
the
Gibby.
Tigers alum needs to come back and manage?
I don't think it necessarily has to be an alum. I'm just saying a guy like
You think
Gibby.
that Joe Torre could come back?
No.
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 I mean, who knows?
He's not going to leave his cushion at MLB.
Right. Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean,
Who knows what will happen?
And you know who feels bad for this? Mike Ilitch.
Yeah.
He's a victim.
Victim of this.
Well, you know what?
Other than the naming of the arena, but he's a victim. That name is terrible.
Yeah, it is a terrible name.
That's a horrible name.
I wouldn't say he's a victim because he's a bit of an enabler.
You've got to feel bad for Ilitch.
I do feel a little bad because the man, he deserves a title. The city deserves a title. But, he tries to outspend everything like the Yankees, whereas
The Tigers and the Yankees are two different organizations.
they are but similar business
But he
model.
doesn't need to be Yankees 2.0.
They have turned into that.
They have.
Because look at the holes they had, and what did they do to fill them? They didn't trade players to get young guys. They threw money at it.
Big money at him.
Which you got to respect an owner that's willing to spend because you could be,
I'm saying to
the
you
Oakland
right now-
Athletics, but
But I'm saying to you right now, look at how Kansas City's developed and
yeah,
been successful.
that's the right way to
Look
build
at how
a team.
Chicago
Any
started
sport,
to- Even
that's
the
the right way to do
Tigers
it.
The Tigers bullpen is crap.
Even the Tigers before 2006. Look at how they developed young
There was a
players.
blend. There was a
Yeah,
blend.
there is a
And
blend,
there-
you're right.
I don't think it's all dismal for the Tigers. Look at James McCann. Look at Iglesias. Look at
They got
Castellanos.
the players. It's just it comes.
They've
it
got
comes
young
down to
guys.
chemistry.
They've got young guys.
It just comes down to chemistry and the right manager.
The
It
right
has to be the
manager,
right manager.
and look, baseball's streaky. The Tigers are streaky. They could go into June and lose 4 games. You know what I
It's time
mean?
to press the panic button on the Detroit Tigers.
It's not time.
It is time.
It is time to address the manager
Yeah, time to
because
fire
he
Ausmus.
continues to cost his team games.
Time-
It's not just this year. Go back to the playoffs in Baltimore.
Address the bullpen too. That bullpen's been terrible.
It's not
Any
been
final
great.
thoughts, gentlemen? Sorry, it's been.
I think the Tigers are okay.
I think they're done.
I think they need a new manager, though.
They need a new manager, but they're finished.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode of Between Taorminas. Please catch us again next week for same comedic action. Have a great night and see you soon.